Former Trade Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria and former economic advisor to President William Ruto has provided the most detailed inside accounts yet of why President Ruto selected Rigathi Gachagua as his running mate ahead of the 2022 general election. Speaking in a candid interview on March 19, 2026, Kuria revealed the behind-the-scenes lobbying, the political calculation, and the risk management thinking that ultimately shaped one of the most consequential decisions in Kenya's recent electoral history. His accounts added significantly context to the political partnership that began with a joint election victory and ended with Gashagua's historic impeachment less than 2 years into office. Kuria disclosed that his first preference for the running mate position had been Mother Karua, the Kidunguri lawmaker and the People's Liberation Party leader. He personally lobbied for her alongside former politician Mwangi Kiunjuri and William Kabugu, pressing the case that she would add a credible and cross-regional appeal to the RUTO'S ticket. When Karua declined and subsequently joined the late Raila Odinga's Azimio la Umoja coalition, Kuria personally reached out to Odinga to ensure she was protected within that formation, describing her as a senior figure he held in high regards. Her departure from the President Ruto's camp effectively closed that chapter and forced fresh deliberation on who would take the position. Kuria identified 3 distinct factions that led Ruto to settle on Gachagua. The first was age optics. At the time, Ruto was facing criticism from surrounding himself with young politicians, among them Kithure Kindiki, Kimani Ichung'wah, Ndindi Nyoro, among several other lawmakers who were regarded as part of the new generation of Mount Kenya political figures. This had created unease among more conservative elements of region who felt Ruto inner circle did not reflect established seniority. Choosing an older running mate was a deliberate move to address that perception and signal respect for the region's traditional political hierarchy. The second factor, according to Moses Kuria, was regional vote arithmetics. Gachagua hails from Nyeri County in Mount Kenya West, a sub-region that commands significant voter numbers. Kuria indicated that Ruto wanted someone whose geographical base would deliver a specific sub-regional dividend that other Mount Kenya East candidates could not equally provide. The calculation was not just about winning the region it aggravated, but about maximizing turnout in each sub-region by fielding someone with deep local roots and personal political network in an area that had historically been feared competitive. The third and arguable most revealing factor was political risk management. Kuria described Kindiki as a decent and composed individual who would not destabilize the ticket if passed over from the deputy position. In contrary, he characterized Gachagua and similar figures as politicians who became highly disruptive when sidelined. Selecting Gachagua was therefore not purely an endorsement but of his suitability, but partly a preemptive decision to neutralize a volatile political actor by bringing him into the tent. The logic followed that it was safer to accommodate Gachagua within the winning coalition than to risk his energies being directed against the campaign from the outside. Gachagua and Ruto entered the contest the August 2022 election as the Kenya Kwanza coalition ticket and won with over 50% of votes. However, the relationship deteriorated sharply within the term. By September 2024, signs of a complete breakdown were visible. On October 8, 2024, the National Assembly passed an impeachment motion against Gachagua by 282 votes to 44, citing 11 charges, including ethnic discrimination, undermining the authority of the president, and engaging in illegal financing transactions. The motion had been tabled by Kibwezi West MP Mwengi Mutuse, and a majority of 291 MPs had signed the support before the formal vote. The Senate conducted a two-day trial beginning October 16, 2024, during which Gachagua pleaded not guilty to all 11 charges. On the second day, he was unable to take the witness stand after his legal team informed the Senate he had been hospitalized at a current hospital for chest pain. His lawyers sought a 5-day adjournment, but the Senate voted to proceed in his absentia, prompting his legal team, led by senior counsel Paul Muite, to withdraw from the proceedings. On the night of October 17, 2024, the Senate voted to uphold 5 of the 11 charges, with the first count of gross constitutional violation passing by 54 votes to 13. Gachagua was found guilty of inflaming ethnic tension, promoting ethnic discrimination, violating his oath of office, and publicly attacking the National Intelligence Service. He was clear on 6 charges, including corruption and insubordination. The Speaker for the Senate, Amason Kingi, formally declared that Gachagua had ceased to hold office, making him the first deputy president in Kenya's history to be removed through impeachment since the provision was introduced under the 2010 Constitution. President Ruto nominated Kithure Kindiki to the position the following day, though the swearing-in was temporarily halted by High Court conservatory order before being cleared on October 31st, 2024. Far from withdrawing from public life, Gachagua launched the Democracy for Citizens Party, branded under the Skiza Mwana Kenya slogan, on May 15, 2025. By November 2025, the DCP had won 3 county assembly seats in by-election. Gachagua formally declared his presidential candidacy on September 3, 2025, and has since toured multiple counties as part of the united opposition alongside Kalonzo Musyoka, Fred Matiang'i, Martha Karua, and Justin Muturi. At the burial in Kiambu County on March 16, 2026, Gachagua pleaded to maintain sustained political pressure on the president administration for the next 15 months ahead of the